Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We continue to wait. We are waiting on a decision from offensive tackle Lance Hurd, transferring from LSU via the transfer portal. Does he end up at Tennessee? I think so. My opinion hasn't changed there. Why are we waiting? I don't know. We continue to wait. Does it happen today? We shall see. I think he does end up with all of you. If you're not familiar with Lance Hurd, if you've not been tracking that, made a video a couple of days ago and laid it out step by step, why I believe he's coming to Tennessee, what the holdup may be. I'll link that at the end of this video. We're also waiting on a decision from five-star quarterback George McIntyre in the class of 2025. He's out of Brentwood Academy in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, he was scheduled to come off the board later this week. We were looking maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday type of time frame. Obviously, because of the weather, that is putting a wrench, throwing a wrench into a lot of plans that are going on right now. And, this is kind of bad news because Tennessee, if they got the commitment from George heading into the weekend, there is the first junior day is coming up this weekend, and a lot of big-time talent going to be on campus. Guys like four-star wide receiver Cam Sparks, four-star interior offensive lineman Juan Gaston also scheduled to be here. Four-star wide receiver Marcus Harris coming all the way from Santa Ana, California. You've got another four-star wide receiver, Travis Smith Jr., driving up from Atlanta, Georgia. I just think it would have been good timing to have George McIntyre in the boat as you bring these guys on campus for that first junior day. Still going to have an opportunity. George is still going to be on town. Some people saying, what's the holdup? Austin Price said, look, here's the deal, man. He wanted to commit, wanted to make that decision in front of the student body. Obviously, as we all know, snow all across the state of Tennessee kind of threw a wrench into those plans, so we'll continue to wait. And I said bad news, maybe not too much of bad news. You'll still have George in town this weekend for that junior day. Still going to be able to do some recruiting for Tennessee. I still feel like he is trending to the University of Tennessee. He will be big, huge for the class of 2025. Speaking of the class of 25, the coaches, guess what? Schools may be closed, work may be closed, but recruiting, it never stops. The coaches are hitting the road. They're going out. They are recruiting in the class of 25, some big-time targets that they are set to visit coming up the next couple of days. We're going to talk about those and more, but as always, do me a favor and smash the thumbs up just below the video. That is quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be any of that. This channel is for the fans, by the fans, built on the back of fans. You guys make this program, this show, this channel, this community. You make it what it is. If you're first time tuning in, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. I'll be live later tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We play some NCAA 14 revamped, but we also talk all things Tennessee. So come hang out. Join us for that. Got all kinds of fun content coming your way. Live film breakdowns. Coach Jay's going to be back in the house doing some film breakdown videos with me, recruiting coverage, portal coverage. It's all right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Let's jump back into recruiting in the class of 2025. Josh Heupel going out on the road. He is scheduled to visit David Sanders, five-star offensive tackle, 6'5", 250 pounds, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Also going to be joined by Glenn Ellerby on this visit. And this is outside of George McIntyre. David Sanders may be my biggest priority. He may be the guy I want more than anybody. We talk about college football this, 2024. You got to get after the quarterback. You got to protect the quarterback, and you got to have a quarterback. We've got one in Nico Iamaleava. We've got one in Jake Merklinger, and we are looking to add one in George McIntyre. So now we need that big offensive tackle that can protect him, and David Sanders is that guy. Scouting report from Andrew Ivins. This is from 247 Sports, says that Sanders is an athletic offensive tackle prospect with an extremely high ceiling, giving the measurables and movement patterns. Over 6'5" and equipped with arms that stretch over 36 inches on the lighter side now, but has plenty of time to add mass and has already posted impressive markers in the weight room for a youngster as he can power clean 335. That's something you got to remember. It's early. It's early in this cycle. We're talking about the class of 25. These kids are juniors. They still have a full semester as a junior, a summer to get stronger in the weight room, and then an entire senior season ahead of them. David Sanders is very nimble for somebody with such long limbs, as he can quickly set up for a battle and then refortify if needed. Might own a wiry frame now, but has surprisingly strong punch. Understands how to find leverage before unlocking his hips and trying to displace pass rushers with his explosive lower half. Carved out a starting role as a ninth grader before his freshman campaign was derailed by a femur injury. However, rebounded in a big way as a sophomore and anchored the left side of the line for Providence State program that won its first state title in 10 years. Must keep progressing and continue to fill out, but should be viewed as one of the top protectors in 2025. Likely going to need some time to get adjusted to the speed of the college football game, but has the skill set to emerge as a multi-year starter at left tackle. Now, for Glenn Ellerbe, again, priority, right? We're talking about some of the depth issues on the offensive line right now. You're going to the portal. You're looking to add a guy like Lance Hurd. We are very fortunate as a fan base that they were able to talk some of these guys to come back for a COVID year, right? The guys like Cooper Mays, like Spraggs, like John Campbell, because without them, we would be pretty much depleted on the offensive line. Why is that? Well, it's because Glenn Ellerbe missed on high school kids going back to the class of 22, class of 23. I think he did a really solid job in the class of 24. So if Glenn Ellerbe is going to work out here, I think you got to go get a guy like David Sanders to add in with your Bennett Warrens, with your Max Andersons, with your William Satterwhites. I think David Sanders is the priority for me. He did visit back during the Georgia game, impressed with Tennessee, loved the visit, loves the way that Tennessee communicates with him, says that they are probably communicating better than anybody else that is targeting him. Now, another guy that's going to be getting a visit coming up, that is Caleb Cunningham, 4-star wide receiver, 6'3", 185 out of Ackerman, Mississippi. Kelsey Pope is going to be on hand to pay Caleb Cunningham a visit. Also in Knoxville for the Georgia game. Tennessee did a nice job setting themselves up with where they're at with Caleb Cunningham. Now, just recently, the most recent news, he took a visit to Mississippi State, almost committed. He almost committed. He said he was as close as you could possibly be to pulling the trigger and committing to Mississippi State, but he decided to sit on it, pray about it, think about it before he makes that decision. But after those quotes come out, after those comments come out, of course, here come the predictions from On3.com, from 247 Sports. Everybody predicting him to Mississippi State. So what's the wild card? Does Tennessee really have a shot? If he loved his visit that much with Mississippi State, why are we talking about him? Well, again, Kelsey Pope going to have an opportunity to go visit him. I also said we had an ace up the sleeve. We got a wild card, boys. We got a wild card, and that is George McIntyre, 5-star quarterback. Caleb Cunningham has a great relationship with George, and he likes the idea of the two of them playing together. Guess what? George McIntyre is not going to Mississippi State. That is not going to happen. So how much does he care about that quarterback position? How much does he like what Jeff Lebby is doing down there at Mississippi State versus what he likes about Josh Heupel, Kelsey Pope, the coaches at the University of Tennessee? Matt Ray from VolQuest made the comment, I could see him committing to Mississippi State and then quickly flipping and changing some twists and turns to maybe this recruitment for Caleb Cunningham. It's early, right? It's early in the process. Scouting report from Gabe Brooks on Caleb Cunningham, unverified size and athleticism, clearly possesses physical traits and excellent functional athleticism on tape. No less about him than most other wideouts in the class, but definitely aware that he's a dynamic basketball player with big production on the hardwood, translates body control and bounce to ball-winning mismatch effectiveness at the wideout position. Unstoppable in red zone situations. I like to hear that. Strong-handed in traffic, runs hard in run-after-catch situations and bowls his way through arm tackles. Long striding gait that creates necessity for build-up speed. Natural route sense and spatial awareness. Question the top-end athlete from speed and lateral perspectives relative to the others in the class, though athletic profile is admittedly excellent with hoops context. Projects as a high major impact player with a long-term ceiling that could lead to NFL draft consideration. So that's a scouting report on Caleb Cunningham. Again, Coach Pope going to be on hand to visit him as the coaches get back out on the road recruiting. One last guy that I want to take a look at here, and I think this is one that Coach Rice likes quite a bit. Rodarius Jackson, 4-star wide receiver out of Memphis, Tennessee, 6'2", 180. Again, going to be visited by Josh Heupel, so making him a priority. Coach Pope also going to audible there. He's going to rotate out. He's going to go from Caleb Cunningham. Then he's going to go join Heupel in Memphis to visit Rodarius Jackson. This is from a 247 Sports article. Said he's a junior at Sheffield High School in Memphis. Visited Tennessee for the first time back on November the 18th to attend a home game against Georgia after landing an offer from the Vols on October the 16th. Goes on to say he now holds offers from more than a dozen schools, including Auburn, Ole Miss, Oregon, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and Colorado, with most teams recruiting him as a projected wide receiver. The 6'1", 190-pound Jackson has yet to be rated by 247 Sports and in the industry generating composite, but he's already a major priority for Tennessee, likely to add more offers. And in the coming weeks and months, he won Tennessee's Class 3A Mr. Football earlier this month after putting up eye-popping numbers as a two-way standout during his junior season. Caught 30 passes, 696 yards, and 13 touchdowns, averaging 23.2 yards per reception, while also rushing for 782 yards, 9 touchdowns, 11.8 yards per carry. He also had 63 tackles and 8 interceptions on defense. I think some of the schools are recruiting him to play defense. Tennessee obviously recruiting him to play that wide receiver position. You can see the On3 rankings are done. On3's got him rated as a 4-star prospect. And again, early in the cycle, Tennessee's going to be out on the road recruiting. Got a big junior day coming up this weekend. We will have that covered as best as possible. I'm sure that visitor list is probably going to change and move around some because of the weather. But as of now, George McIntyre, even though the commitment's going to probably be pushed off to next week, we will keep you updated with that. We plan to do a live stream for the commitment of George McIntyre. But a lot of stuff going to be going on this weekend for Junior Day, so we will keep you guys up to date with that. Do me a favor, man. Do me a favor and smash the thumbs up. But also, if you like this channel, you like the content, the live streams, the community, think about hitting that join button down below. You become a member of the channel. It's $1 a month. It is a $1 pledge. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. We need you to keep this channel moving forward. So think about hitting that join button. Custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows. We're going to fire up a watch party soon. So make sure you think about hitting that. Also, go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We've got these brand new shirts, The Chosen One. We all know who has been dubbed as The Chosen One by Hendo Cinco. We got the 8-ball on the shirt. You can check that out. The link is in the description below. You can click that or just go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. All the old favorites are there as well. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, live stream coming up tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe we'll drop some news on Lance Hurd. We shall see. But that is going to wrap it up. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.